Noah.
Academy of Art University Urban Night Update is next. Coming up, as the Jonestown Massacre's 40th anniversary approaches, we learn about the cults here in San Francisco.
Tea shops are popping up, but do you know the actual benefits your body gets from drinking tea?
An inside look at what it takes to be a fisherman getting ready for crab season in San Francisco.
And if you're a movie fan, we will have a sneak peek at the Apollo version, Drago fight, and Creed 2. All that and more next on Urban Nights Update.
Millennials are looking for jobs in this day and age. People in between the age of 25 and 18 are looking for jobs and are searching for more and more ways to make easy money. Many people in the 25 to 34-year-old range are also dropping jobs due to lagging in their fields. The biggest issue is that the work days are too long. Men and women have children that are in the need of taking care of, and being jobless is not getting the job done. President Trump has a new action toward the border between U.S. and Mexico by sending more than 7,000 active duty troops to the border. His goal is to support the Border Patrol. The military police located at the border will be armed mainly for self-protection and unexpected conflict. But is this action supported by the Congress? With members of the Congress focused mainly on midterm elections, reaction has been mild. Senator Hagel felt this mission is a no need, no threat.
Full speed ahead is the ocean cleanup system nicknamed Wilson. It is cleaning up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. The system involves a floating series of 4-foot booms that connect to make a giant horseshoe at the surface of the ocean. Below the surface is a 9-foot skirt that is designated to corral plastic trash that floats in the water. After a successful trial run for 5 days, it is still too early to come to any conclusions about the overall goal. The hope is to clean up the garbage Pacific by 50% in 5 years' time. Commercial fishermen freeing sea creatures instead of trapping them. After a day of work, while 2 fishermen were heading back into Morrow, they found a humpback whale in distress, tangled in a rope attached to a buoy. They took matters into their own hands. Even though this reaction is appreciated, the U.S. Coast Guard still discouraged this kind of reaction due to safety issue. If you see an endangered whale, call SOS Whale instead of putting yourself under dangerous situation. Josh Carlin up and close with the fishermen of San Francisco to see what it's like fishing in the bay.
Fisherman's Wharf is arguably the busiest tourist spot in the city, known for fishermen that have been fishing there since the 1800s. They are searching for the famous local crabs and trout and selling to local fish markets and restaurants. I had the opportunity to talk to a few fishermen. First, I talked to Sandy to take me what he goes through from a day-to-day basis.
My name's Sandy Shields. I'm from Petaluma, California. Depending on the species you're going after, crab fishing, we'll probably spend at least 1 month getting the gear and the boat ready before we go. I fish for the almighty dollar. I think we're selling to Cairo Brothers this year. We're buying all our crab right here on Pier 45, and they'll cook them as soon as we bring them in. My best trip was in the Bering Sea in Alaska, and early 90s, I grossed $13,600,000 for 180 days at sea. Grossed. I didn't make that. We grossed that.
Fishermen have been supplying Fisherman's Wharf for many years. I found another fisherman who fishes by himself, and he took me what he goes through from a day-to-day basis.
Hi, my name's Mark, and I'm from right here. Not originally, I'm from the Midwest originally, but I've been out here fishing for probably 40 years. Usually try to go fishing early in the morning, and many times leaving in the dark, and try to get on the fishing grounds by dawn. By early dawn, if the fish are going to bite, a lot of times you want to start very early, just as a crack of dawn. I generally fish for only two things now. One is crab fish in the wintertime for crabs, and the summertime we do salmon fishing. It's all my own business. It's a commercial fishing, so I'm doing it for profit, for a living, make a living, and selling to whoever, wants to buy them, or the highest bidder, or whatever the case might be, the wholesalers.
In San Francisco, I'm Josh Carlin for your Urban Nights update.
When it comes to competitive gaming, there's really only three competitors: Xbox, PS4, and PC. But when it comes down to it, which platform is the best for gaming? All platforms have their pros and cons, and there are many things to take into consideration to get the bottom of the debate. Our very own Caden Spilsbury has settled this dispute.
Ever since the release of the Super Nintendo in 1990, gaming has evolved so much over time.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Along with the growing development of games, esports has become one of the biggest things right now. So when it comes to performance, what platform is the best for gaming? Xbox, PS4, or PC?
There's no real argument. PC players are just better gamers.
PC gamers are better.
I mean, PC gamers are better, but I personally like PS4 myself.
I think PC gamers are the best, just because if you really think about it, you look at all these tournaments, all these leagues, all these e-gaming leagues, it's not really for consoles, it's more for PC gamers. They're just so close to the screen, I guess, that they just see everything. And I know, me personally, as a console player, I play really far away from the TV, so I don't know if that makes a huge difference in when playing. But PC gamers are definitely really, really good.
If the PC gives the best experience in gaming, then why do people still use the Xbox and PS4?
PC, you're spending thousands of dollars on a monitor, then you have to get the whole system and stuff like that. Compared to an Xbox One, it's about $300, and it just feels better, the controller, than the mouse.
Luke says his PC costs more than 5 times what a PS4 and an Xbox cost, and that is not including his gaming mouse and keyboard, as well as his 4K monitor that helps him run his $1,000 PC.
I'm actually not the most social person, so I end up making friends with the people that live in the alley behind my apartment. So they don't have as much money, they're not as well off financially as I am, so they can't really afford a PC setup like I do, so they play an Xbox or PlayStation in their flat screens out there. And because of that, we can't play together because most games aren't cross-compatible, so if I'm playing on PC and they're playing on console, we can't really, keep our friendship going on the online realm.
Because of this inconvenience factor, Xbox and PS4 sell twice the amount of new games that PC does. Fortnite, without a doubt the biggest game in the world right now, is the first game that allows all platforms to play with each other through cross-play gaming. Even Nintendo and mobile can get in on the action. Now PC, PS4, and Xbox can all play together. The war on consoles is now over. So what is the best gaming platform? There is no one correct answer. It is simply whatever one you desire. In San Francisco, I'm Caden Spilsbury for Urban Nights Update.
Tea is becoming one of the biggest trends to date, even if it's served hot or cold. Tea shops are popping up all over San Francisco, but many people are drinking it without knowing the actual benefits. Of course, it's refreshing, but studies have shown that tea can improve your body's health. Taylor Martin went around San Francisco to give us a look at tea shops that are all over the city and to learn about some of the benefits.
People have been drinking tea for more than 6,000 years, and for some reason it's becoming more popular now than it ever has before.
5-finger pinch, 1 tablespoon. Okay?
Tea shops are showing up on streets around San Francisco, attracting consumers. But do they actually understand the benefits of the tea they are drinking? I spoke with Chris, a tea enthusiast and employee at Vital Tea Leaf in Chinatown, San Francisco, about the differences of these newer tea shops.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the traditional tea form as an educational and, medicinal form, in that tea is traditionally part of Chinese medicine. It's like the pharmacy. You wouldn't go to a pharmacist for a gunshot wound, but you wouldn't go to a brain surgeon for a migraine. Tea can't fix everything, but it's the in and out the door, quick medicinal, health. It's preventative medicine. It keeps you from having problems in the first place. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, again, they think that you put anything in hot water, that's a tea. And that kind of misinformation, it doesn't really hurt the tea, the tea plant or the tea form, but it doesn't help it grow. And so a lot of people that, just making money off of flavors, that is helping tea to a degree, but it's also hurting tea. And so this kind of traditional tea form requires more information, more education that a lot of people just don't have.
Yeah. Chris said tea isn't just for the flavor or taste, but for the body as well. And that's what most people forget. For those of you who drink coffee, I suggest putting down the coffee and creamer and switching over to one of the natural teas that actually benefit you. Take a visit to one of your local Chinese tea shops for an education on tea and even pick up a bag for your home. In San Francisco, I'm Taylor Martin with your Urban Nights Update.
So that makes many of us wonder, what is your favorite, tea or coffee? Shyla Miller goes out to ask that very question this week.
I drink tea because coffee gives me the jitters, and tea is a good way to experience the world.
Coffee because it's the cheapest thing on the menu. Coffee because it's bittersweet.
I drink either. I don't drink coffee or tea. I'm more of a hot chocolate type of guy. Coffee keeps me, it makes me too wired, and tea is just hot water with flavor. So
I love coffee because it helps wake me up.
I don't like coffee or tea. They don't satisfy my taste buds. My taste buds don't get excited when I drink them, so neither.
Alright, I'm going to say coffee, just because in the morning it's really the only thing that gives me enough energy to get stuff done, and then consistently throughout the day as well.
A San Francisco 49ers cheerleader knelt during the national anthem before the Oakland Raiders took on the San Francisco 49ers protest. Began in 2016 when 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick kneeled in order to shed light on racism and police brutality against people of color in America. The cheerleader has been identified as Kayla Mortis. Neither Morris or the 49ers have any comments on the situation. Now we move on to the world of sports at Academy of Art University with Elijah Smith.
Today we feature updates from both women's soccer and volleyball, along with their overall accomplishments. The women's volleyball team has endured many hardships throughout this year, resulting in 0 wins for the season, but now the team has something to get excited about.
It's exciting to get a win. For us, it's been a long, hard season, and the girls have been working really hard, and tonight really showed on what we've been preaching them about team concept. Not everybody was on their game tonight, but it took a team effort to get the win, and they finally saw that, and they understand it, and I think this will help us move on through the rest of the season and then into next season as well.
I mean, it definitely felt crazy. A little bit after the win and everything. This is the first win, so I think everyone's kind of not really sure how to feel, but they're extremely ecstatic and just over the moon about it. So for sure happy.
Well, Safu is the senior of the team, and she's our go-to girl, and we feed her a lot, and we give her a lot. We give her a lot of responsibilities. It's something she's not used to, and we told her coming in this year that we're going to put a lot on your shoulders, and she's actually handled it really well. So it's something that she bought into and accepted the challenge, and so we're really proud of her for that.
No, it's definitely been a crazy transition going from the middle to an outside, especially on my last year here. It was definitely a big change, but I mean, like I said, it's my last year. Why not go out, guns blazing, everything. So it's been crazy.
I honestly was heading it, and as I was heading it, I'm like, please.
This year's women's soccer team is performing at
a
a level higher than ever before. They are engraving their names in the school's history books with a fantastic season that they're putting together.
I honestly was
the woman
hitting it, and
had a
as I
great
was
season,
hitting
finishing with a school record
concussion. But that was about it. I was like, all right, let's go in. Katie's gonna yell at me, and and then once it went in, I was like, holy crap! I did not know that was going in. I was so excited, but I'm happy that everyone was backing me up.
Corners are my thing. She got the end of it, so she made me look good. A person who scores always makes me look good, so it was really nice to take a corner, especially been off for a week, so it's been nice to come back and have an assist.
They came out to play as hard as they could, and one of the nice things about having as many new players as we did is they don't know that tradition of not necessarily being a successful program at that point. And then couple that with 6 seniors who have been through a lot, where they haven't had a lot of winning ways, and they really, really want to end on a high note. And I think you see them setting the tone for how much they want it, and that lets the freshmen know exactly how they need to go about their business. And I think that's led to a ton of our success, is that blending of those remaining players who really, really want some success before they move on and advance in life, and then the freshmen coming in hungry and wanting to change the program.
We're really happy that we broke in the most wins in a season.
The women had a great season, finishing with a school record of 8 wins. The team looks to regroup this offseason and come back even stronger next year to do more damage. That's the latest in Urbanized Sports. That's all I have for today. Thank you. Back to you.
Don't drink that Kool-Aid. On November 18th, 1979, a man by the name of Jim Jones was responsible for the unspeakable 909 members of his following consumed a deadly amount of cyanide-laced drink. The new ABC special is now airing in honor of the 40th anniversary of the horrific event. Tara Cooley was curious about the topic of cults and digged a little deeper into the darkness surrounded by this term.
We want no condescending saviors to rule us from the judgment hall. I came to show you that the only God you need is within you.
The dictionary defines cults as a group of people having religious beliefs or practices seen by others as strange or sinister. There are movies, television shows, even podcasts about cults, but I wanted to know more. The People's Temple called San Francisco their home for 7 years in the 1970s. Jim Jones preached to his community about religion and socialism. It didn't take long to realize how radical this man truly was. Jones convinced his followers to believe he could heal the sick, save the poor, and feed the homeless. If his followers misbehave, he would punish individuals during public meetings for all to see. According to his son, Stephen Jones, many of them chose to love and then learn to fear my Father.
They see a great deal of God in my body. They see Christ in me.
November 18th will be the 40th anniversary of the day Jim Jones ordered his followers to drink poisonous juice, resulting in the death of 913 people.
A trunk was filled with performed today on the body of the founder of the People's Temple, Jim Jones. Some had pillows beneath their heads. Some died alone, separated by families until the end.
All that remains is a list of the deceased in a post office where the temple was located, who won't even claim the address, 1859 Geary. This information made me wonder if cults are still around today. My research led me to a man who shared his story with me. His name and voice has been changed to keep his identity a secret.
My oldest daughter, her boyfriend was led to this, to Landmark, because of a friend of his had gone there. So we both, my wife and myself, we didn't like what we heard. They had people stand up and give testimonials about how it changed their life, and it changed this and it did that, you know. And so this went on for like an hour. My wife, ex-wife, signs up for it. They're trying to break you down here so that you'll be open to whatever they give you. They had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Her entire temperament changed, and she became very aggressive, which she had never been in her whole life. And we grew up together. And we were married for 40 years. Completely changed. Her personality just completely changed. I took out my camera and I wanted to video this guy. And this lady comes up like an usher and she says, "No, you're not allowed to record anything in here at all." And I said, "Why?" What do you have to hide?
Cults may not be a thing of the past. In San Francisco, I'm Tara Cooley with their Urban Nights update.
I'm curious if I know anyone who is in a cult. Shyla Miller sits down with Jan Yanahiro to discuss her relationship with someone that has seen a cult firsthand.
Thank you. My name is Shyla Miller, and I'm sitting in here with Jan Yanahiro. She is the Director of Communications and Media Technologies here at Academy of Art University. We brought her in here today to talk to her about cults. How are you doing today?
I'm just fine. Happy to be here.
I'm glad. So you were a reporter in 1978, and here in the Bay Area, and we know that the anniversary of Jim Jones massacre is coming up November 18th. So since you were a reporter at that time, how was that experience for you?
Oh, Shyla, it was big news here in the Bay Area because after all, you remember, Jim Jones had his congregation right here in San Francisco. So everybody from San Francisco went along in his cult to Guyana and set up that supposedly utopia. So for us here in the Bay Area, it was huge news. Plus, Congressman Leo Ryan, who was shot, by the way, 45 times on that tarmac in Guyana, and now Congresswoman Jackie Speier, she was his legal counsel back then, she was shot 5 times and left to die. In fact, Congressman Ryan did die. Jackie Speier survived. And then, of course, here it is now, the 40th anniversary of this massacre.
So with the research that I did, I know that you're good friends with Jackie Speier. How did that really begin? How is it now after all this?
Good point you asked that. It's interesting because I met Jackie Speier, now Congresswoman, professionally. I interviewed her for the story about what was it like to survive a massacre in Guyana. And every anniversary, the 2nd anniversary, the 5th anniversary, the 10th anniversary, the 15th anniversary, I would interview her. So through the years, we became fast friends. In fact, we became such great friends that we wrote a book together called This Is Not the Life I Ordered. However, in that book, she talks about what it was like to be shot 5 times and what it was like to visit this cult in Guyana. It's riveting what she says about this cult.
Yeah, so with this book, This Is Not the Life I Ordered, having your name as a writer, in writing this, how did it open your eyes?
It's amazing about cults and what one person can do to lead 900 people to their deaths. So we have to be extremely diligent about cults, and we have to exactly know what it is about a cult that you're going to follow or not follow, and what about that leader. And we should know. And Jim Jones, in fact, led his people to die.
Yeah, I agree. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Shyla Miller, sitting in here with Jan Yanahiro. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to speak to you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
Well, with all this conversation on cults, Nick Bachman decided to talk about it on the roundtable today.
Thanks, Amy. Sitting beside me is Monique Nedington, Matthew Watkins, and Shyla Miller. We're here today to talk about cults. Yes, the cults as in Jim Jones or Charles Manson. So, for the first question I have for you guys, it's what is your guys' definition of a cult?
I think it's just a group, small or big, that is so close circled and it doesn't allow outsiders in, and they have their own set of beliefs, but they take it to an extreme point. Like super extreme. They live through it, like if they detour from these rules, and that something in their life is going to go bad if they detour from these.
So you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like she said, it's a whole group of people, but to them, like what Jim Jones would say is, he's God to these people. So that was who their God was. That was their leader. So it's just a whole bunch of, to me, it's a whole bunch of craziness.
A bunch of brainwashing and everything.
It's craziness, yeah.
With that being said, with this craziness, it's like we see where they're standing. Matt, do you think cults are negative or positive to this world, this community?
Well, I think depending on the specific cult or what they're practicing or whatever, like piggybacking off what they said, just the definition of a cult, the devotion to one person or an object. I think depending on, obviously, the cult, it could be good or bad, but generally it has a bad stigma behind it because cults tend to be on the bad side.
Well, think of it this way. I mean, we have tons of religions in this world, tons of religions, but we don't see, say, a Catholic church or a Christian church or going to a mosque or temple as bad, but they kind of have the same system as a cult, but we don't see them as bad.
Yeah.
Because it's set as a religion.
Because it's set as a, no, there are religious cults out there.
Well, I know for a fact that like not exactly the definition, but part of the definition of a cult is like, it's like a religion where they all worship one God, one thing. That's pretty much kind of like just a little tap on what it is. So I mean, I can see where you guys are saying that that's definitely a cult, but I mean, these people in these cults are saying that their one God is one person like this.
So then the question is how to differentiate a religion from a cult.
Well,
how would you do that?
Cults are just, or the leaders
That's a
of
good
cults,
question.
they're really just like a psychological phenomenon because they have such strong mind and such manipulative power that they prey on somebody who's going through a terrible time in their life or somebody who's like really weak-minded and they're searching for more. They're searching for more. They're searching for
because they want that.
They know they can have that power. If they know they can have that power, of course they're going to take advantage of it.
So that's pretty much what you guys say is cults are taking advantage. People taking advantage.
Of people in need.
Religion, you don't go up to somebody and tell them immediately you should join this, or just in general just say join this because with religion most people just say join like this religion, make our following bigger, and just like spread the word. But with cults it's a completely different story.
Forcing belief.
You force it, you prey on the vulnerable. People who join cults, people who as a leader or are leaders of cults have something messed up with them, and it's the same people who join a cult.
We have time. I have. That's a good point. But I have one last really quick question, yes or no answer. Would you guys join a cult?
Yes.
No.
What?
Wow. Okay. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you. I'm Nicholas Boffman. Once again with Monique Nettington, Matthew Watkins, and Shyla Miller. Back to you guys.
Thank you for that cultivating conversation. Very interesting end to that roundtable. On a lighter note, November is pumping out a lot of great shows and movies. Here's Monique Nettington hopping onto the roundtable to give us a week's of entertainment update.
Thanks, Noah. From the big screen to the small, Julia Roberts is back in a big way in the new Prime Video TV series Homecoming.
What happened to the fish?
I got rid of them. Just figured it was for the best.
The series, which premiered November 2nd, is a psychological thriller that centers around Roberts' character Heidi, a former caseworker at the Homecoming Transitional Support Center. She is 4 years removed from her position when a Department of Defense auditor comes to question her about her work with the soldiers at the facility and the real reason she decided to leave. This unearths a bunch of truths about her departure and Homecoming itself. Now this one's for all you Christmas lovers out there. Disney's bringing you a new Christmas movie starring Keira Knightley, Morgan Freeman, and Mackenzie Foy. Out now, Disney takes on a Christmas classic ballet to create The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. Young Clara is transported to a mystical parallel world where the realms are full of snowflakes, flowers, and sweets. But with the help of a toy soldier named Philip, Clara journeys to the ominous Fourth Realm to face Mother Ginger and bring peace to the Four Realms. Now, does everyone remember that moment in Rocky IV when Apollo told Rocky not to stop the fight, and in that moment, Soviet fighter Drago delivers a fatal blow to Apollo, and he dies? Well, this Thanksgiving, Apollo's death might be avenged with the help of Rocky, and his son Adonis heads to the ring to face Drago's equally as dangerous son, and a shared grim legacy. Here's a look at the new Creed film starring Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone.
We got this. You heard me?
In the ring, you got rules. Outside, you got nothing. Life hits you with all these cheap shots. People like me, we live in the past. You got people that need you now. You got everything to lose. This guy's got nothing to lose.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands. Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
But you don't think I could beat him? I was afraid I couldn't live up to these expectations.
I got loyalty inside my DNA.
You don't think you got your validation?
I got loyalty inside my DNA.
I don't know about you, but that's a fight I can't wait to see. And it looks like November is really packing its own punches with some great premieres. That's going to do it for this week's entertainment update. Noah and Amy, back to you.
Thanks, Monique. That looks like one heck of a knockout movie for us to look forward to in November.
Oh, I can't wait.
For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Noah Dobbin.
And I'm Amy Smith. And we'll see you back next time.